Looking
Oh my
more
God, he's
closely
just
at the
fucking
anomaly
everywhere, bro.
products shows how it's human meat.
I didn't even
Lovely.
realize
We got
that. That's
eyeballs,
sick.
fingers, teeth,
I
and
really
even what
like
appears
that.
to be scalp.
It's so hard to tell with like the black ominous stuff on it. I thought it was just spoiled meat. That's actually sick. They did a good job with that. We're now going to watch a video, I guess theorizing because nothing's been confirmed, on what's actually going on. Like, what's the lore? We did this with the orange game. I haven't done it with any other game. I think I might start doing that though. Make this like a normal thing. Okay, so we got game results. We got 2 videos here actually. Plus secret ending. Wait, hold on. Is the monster ending the secret one? Bad, good, and secret. That is 3. Why does it say all 7 endings? What? Good, bad, cycle, and death, or just dying? Huh. We'll just watch the video and we'll see. We'll see. So this is Game Salt's pretty good guy. I've watched a few of his videos. What is this? I should play that game. It looks good. I should play everything on this channel actually, and then we could come watch it. Oh shit! Look at that. Did a Dark Pals. He did mixtape. It's not a horror game, but interesting. I want to play this game. Mouse PI. What did I watch of his? I know I've watched a few of his stuff. I have not watched this. I should probably watch this. Because this doesn't include the new ending. We could watch that. I don't know what I watched of his. Was it? Might have been his My Little Nightmares, I think. Okay, let's check this out though. Let's see.
Begins with the unnamed protagonist answering to a
Actually, I'm sorry. I want to get white cheddar popcorn.
recruitment leaflet where they want a store
I will be
clerk
pausing
to
and
work
talking.
in a convenience store in a
You want to see the
remote
original?
northern-
Well, it's not here, but if you're watching the VOD, I think I'll... Should I make this its own separate VOD? Or tag it on? I think I'll make it its own separate VOD, actually. So if we also watch the No, I'm Not Human one as well, I could just tag it on there. I guess I could put it in the description right now real quick. But, you know, original video, you can see it on screen also. But for VOD watchers, it will be there. I will be pausing and talking over this. You can watch the original thing in its whole entirety without me speaking and pausing. I only say that, not that I give a fuck, because, you know, people are like, oh, stop pausing. You're watching my reaction, dog.
town. This place
It
is
is right
cold and far from his place, so the job even offers housing, which seems to be ideal for the protagonist, who has been looking for a job for a long time. The protagonist being already in the town, he waits for the only bus that crosses the path to the convenience store, known as HELLSMART. As he gets on the bus in the snowy town, after some time, he gets off, where he notices the store is quite far away from any residential area, so the only customers appearing at the store must be on the road driving.
I'll let it ride.
As soon as he arrives at the store, the public telephone starts ringing,
it's not
being
just a
clear
summary,
that
right?
it is intended for the protagonist. From now on, I'll refer to him as Mark, non-canonically. Picking up the phone, the boss instructs Mark what he needs to do. As he enters the store,
Must be something the devs confirmed.
picks up a pager, being his way of communication with the boss. So by the looks of it, it seems as if the story of the game takes place before mobile
believe that.
phones became a common thing, so it could be late 80s to 90s. As Mark starts
the
cleaning
fucking,
up, we notice that there are graffitis in the store, and even the door being barricaded by
What's it
planks, as if the store has been
The fucking economy so far.
abandoned for some time. Not very reassuring if you ask me. It seems to be a remote and lonely place with danger being just around any corner. Either way, Mark finishes up and goes to the break room,
The markers are so ugly, by the way.
which is a nice cozy room with a bed. This is where Mark will be
I shitted on the room so much, my dude. It's actually not bad. It just sucks that there's no like TV or anything. Even in the 1980s, they had TV. But it's actually not bad. It is kind of cozy, and it's about the size of my room. A little bit bigger, actually.
sleeping and living for the next several days. After a much needed rest
But
from
you know what it is, though? Because, no, the difference, though, is that's all he has. I have a little kitchen, a little living room, bathroom, shower. I even got a washing machine and a dryer, man.
The long travel that he had, he goes to the store to start his first day. Reading the rules, the first lines are typical rules to abide by, but the last rule specifically asks in capital to not let him in. There is no specification to what or who this he is, which makes Mark a little baffled and concerned. Suddenly, his train of thoughts are interrupted by the ringing of the telephone. As he answers, he has a strange feeling. It feels as if the voice of the store owner is not coming from the telephone but rather from the store, or it echoes in his head. Also, the boss seems to be fully aware of what is happening, telling Mark in detail how he knew how tired he was and how hard he slept. It feels as if the store owner is not even human, but rather he is directly talking and interacting with the store as if it is a conscious entity. As he talks to the boss, he tells him to stay at the store during the night and to never leave it empty.
That's a good observation. I did not piece that together.
And to make
I did find it weird that the boss, I figured the boss could just see us. I never thought that we might actually be interacting with the store. The store has to be alive, right? As we attack the hearts.
sure to let in people who don't look sketchy or strange at nighttime. As he starts his shift and communicates with the customers, he quickly learns the locals are friendly and often smile. But as he has a conversation with one of the customers, it's unveiled that they might be friendly, but at the same time, some are somewhat crazy. The customer explains that he had to teach the last store clerk a lesson after he gave him the wrong change. He punctured the generator, which led to the last clerk not having power during the night. After reaching the sales quota in the day, the boss calls him again, congratulating him. As the night shift is about to begin, the boss gives the password to the computer, which Mark can use to access the security cameras. Doing so, we learn the date to be the 1st of December, 1996. It is just a few weeks away from Christmas, and it feels a little odd why there is no other person working in the store and what could have happened to the last clerk. As it becomes too dark, certain people start knocking on the window.
I also love that just didn't. I don't blame him. It's completely irrelevant to the video.
Security cameras. Doing so,
niggas just beating his shit right there vigorously.
We learned the day away from Christmas and happened to the last clerk. As it becomes too dark, certain people start knocking on the window, asking to be let in. It is up to Mark to decide whether to let them in or not, as some are strange and could cause consequences that might be out of logic and kill the protagonist, while the others might be just normal people needing help. Eventually, after the first
Why? Motherfucker, you did that wrong.
while the others
I hate Karen as
might
much
be
as the
just
next
normal
guy.
people need
She is not a normal person.
help. Eventually,
No
after the
shot.
first day comes to an end, Mark sees the sunrise and leaves the store to the break room to get some much-needed rest. After some sleep, Mark awakens and goes to the storage room to get the deliveries and restock the shelves. That's when he questions himself how the deliveries make it here. He doesn't even see it in the cameras, and it seems the boxes are just the old boxes getting refilled and put in the storage, with no labels, dates, or any sign of changing. He questions his sanity and how any of this could be possible, yet he doesn't have much evidence to prove it otherwise, that they are not simply delivered, so he continues as usual. For the second day, poor Mark has to deal with a nasty Karen and eventually hears a creepy story about the convenience store. The customer tells him that there used to be a curious kid who found a hatch and leaned over. He was thrown in, and as people heard his screams and cries, they came to help but found no hatch, as if it never existed. This became a folklore scaring all the locals, with some even saying that they still hear the echoes of his cries till today. Eventually, the day comes to an end and Mark goes to the break room to sleep. After waking up, Mark starts his third shift. Everything goes well in the day and he reaches his sales quota, but as night comes, he gets a call from the boss who warns him tonight will be rough and he should prepare by barricading the doors using planks. Laughing and feeling it's such a bizarre thing to say, he does as he is asked either way and gets back to store.
Did he do that?
Or getting ready to finish quickly to wrap up. As the night drags on, feeling like he is falling asleep as there is no other customers, Mark starts seeing things that shouldn't exist. A long shadow of an arm inching closer and closer to him from the ceiling, which makes him get up in fear and regain his full awareness. He thinks at first that he is imagining it, but on a second look,
For some reason, I can't remember if he did that in the video I watched.
He realizes that he is up against paranormal events. He grabs the axe that was meant to be in case of fire and hacks at the arm, which quickly disappears. Soon enough, the mysterious hatch the other customer talked about appears out of nowhere on the floor of the convenience store, displaying that the store is truly haunted. He gets a message on his pager to defend the store against invading monsters and phantoms, which he does bravely, yet being scared using his axe. So the story of the kid vanishing in the store wasn't a lie or a fabrication, but it really happened, with the poor kid losing his life, possibly. Axe in hand, defending the store and fighting literal monsters, the sun slowly rises and the nightmare comes to an end. The shaken Mark runs to the break room and gets on bed, who dozes.
I wonder how come he didn't mention the fact that Mark says some shit like, it's afraid of sunlight? Also, is my HELLSMART still open? I don't need my playtime being any higher in that fuck-ass game. Okay, so now.
As quickly as he lies down due to the exhaustion from the night. Despite what he just experienced, strangely, Mark gets back up and goes to work at the haunted store. It's strange, yet something keeps him going. He finds a note that is left behind possibly by the last clerk, that they experienced the same thing as him before, with monsters coming out at night.
Talks about the notes. I figured that a video, this is what I was saying, I didn't care about the notes that much, because I figured people would really go in depth to the notes because they probably tell a lot about the backstory. Because I got a good bit of it too, that there was someone here beforehand and was going through the same shit from the notes that I did find.
And customers. Yet the previous clerk mentions that maybe it isn't invading monsters to try to kill him, but instead, what if it is the store itself, which is a sentient being which awakens at night to digest the ones trapped within it? This makes Mark go deep in thoughts and contemplate on the conundrum that he is placed in. He thinks about the tale of the kid disappearing and that he found the hatch, but one thing doesn't match the story. In the story, the kid disappeared during the day, but the hatch only appears at night. So is it possible that the monsters also appear during the day? Despite all the unfortunate events and the little dilemma that he has found himself in, he continues on working. As he runs the store, a corpse-looking man appears with a hood who questions Mark about his lack of questioning
that his mouth just keeps moving
about the rules and the entire situation that he is in. Eventually, he makes a threatening remark that he will find his way into the store to claim it, whether he likes it or not, and then he simply leaves on that unsettling note. Could this figure be the source of the strange events taking place in the store at night, or is he somehow connected to the store?
I never noticed the monster.
To another customer, they unveiled the
neck. Looks like nuts.
The store has been abandoned for some time after the previous clerk disappeared under mysterious circumstances. That's until Mark was hired. Eventually,
well, we now know from getting all the endings and stuff, the previous clerk failed, broke the rules, either didn't reach a quota or was, rude to customers, whatever, and became the monster that is trying to kill us now.
As the night comes, Mark starts putting the planks back up and
which I'm pretty sure they're going to say in this video.
He has to turn away or let in.
The bad ending
One of them claims to be the last clerk, someone who ran away after experiencing strange phenomenons working here for a few days. They claim no matter how much they run, they keep coming back to the store, as if looping back to the store, being on an endless path. It is up to us to either let them in or turn them away.
It also checks out because the neutral ending is called like Groundhog Day or some shit, where you kill the monster, they all clap for you and say basically the same shit except for the drunk guy. And then you get on the bus to leave, the store burns down, and you're like, oh fuck, we're gone. And then the bus just pulls back up to HELLSMART, and the character's like, no, wait.
After a few hours, the sun rises and it is time for Mark to get some shut-eye. On that note, he starts his 5th shift working in the store. As Mark goes to the storage and shovels some snow piles, he finds more notes. In the notes, he learns the reality is distorted in this place, nothing making any sense. The last clerk explains how each time that he stepped in the storage, the size of the place changed. Sometimes it would take him a few steps to reach the end wall, and sometimes it would be a lot longer.
I do remember
also,
reading
all the locals are somehow drawn to the store, shopping here, even though the town is far away and they have other stores and shops that they could do their shopping in. As the sales quota of the
this is some type of purgatory or some shit.
The day is met and night comes again. Mark gets a phone call, this time not recognizing the person
The name's called Hell Mart. I think that like actually means something. I think we're like in hell or
on
something.
the phone. The unknown person claims that he doesn't remember much about himself or his name, but he knows for certain that he used to work in Hellmart. He explains that he is in a surreal liminal space pocket dimension with endless corridors when eventually he heard a ringing telephone which he picked up, connecting him to Mark. He warns Mark not to trust the management or the pager, as anything they say is a lie. The line is abruptly cut.
I hate this guy because he kind of fucked me up. I was thinking this was a hint on how to get the good ending, like you could actually escape.
And Mark has more concerns
Unless
now, knowing there's no way in or out, and at this point, he is already under the trap of the store. The caller even addresses the store as a shopping mall like just before the line drops.
It's because it is weird that they're saying secret ending, and on the homepage shows you that there's 3 endings in the game.
Eventually, after facing some more paranormal events, Mark goes to get some shut-eye, starting his 6th shift. The day goes as usual, but the night becomes even more terrifying, with a monster crawling in the store, chasing after Mark, intending to eat him.
You play the game wrong.
Managing to fend himself off and keep the store safe, the sun rises again and he goes to the break room. As he wakes up, it happens to be the last day, his 7th shift. As it was agreed, he had to work 7 days to begin with as a probation, and after that, he could probably stay for longer. Going out, he sees something really abnormal. The sky is blood red and it looks nothing like he's seen before, as if there's going to be an eclipse. Just outside.
Yeah, I'm getting worried because there's only 4 minutes left in this video. This is feeling more like a summary of the game than
he finds the corpse-looking
explanation of anything. We'll see though. We'll see.
It is the final day of the ritual.
4 minutes left.
A trap the boss of this place set for the clerk, and tomorrow will be the day of the reckoning. Tomorrow will be the day where the protagonist will uncover the truth of the boss's games. The stranger explains that he can change Mark's fate, but only if he trusts him and helps him do something.
I hate that so much. I thought for sure they were like setting up a him for the good ending. Turns out he's actually the good guy. That'd be kind of cool.
As otherwise, Mark's fate will be unfavorable. The telephone then rings and the boss is on the line.
But no, he's just gonna turn into a fucking monster.
He dismisses everything.
The best ending you can get is actually by just doing exactly what you're told.
That has happened, yet says that tomorrow will be the day that Mark will find
ending,
out
but
for himself.
Definitely better than
kept at the store
having to do it all over again, becoming the monster, becoming a manager.
Will be reviewed.
It's better. All right, now we're in the endings.
There are a few different endings in the story. They are unlocked based on our choices throughout the game and how we treat the customers. Treating the customer nicely and defending the store, we finally managed to reach day 8 after running the store in the eclipse and facing the monsters again. This time around...
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some people would get the good ending first. I feel like most people would get neutral though.
All the customers are standing out.
Especially because even if you're nice to the customers, if you didn't figure out how the mechanics works, which they actually did explain it, I guess, in all fairness. But if you don't figure out how the mechanics work on like the good and bad people, then you'd be neutral.
Giving Mark a round of applause. The Karen is there who gave Mark a hard time. The old lady is there who was borderline psychotic.
You didn't even talk about that, but it's all good.
Cut someone with a knife. We also have the suspicious customer who was stealing.
I guess this is a summary.
Who comes asking for money, and finally, the drunk guy who claimed to own the place. As it turns out, he wasn't lying, and he truly owned the place. They promote the protagonist to a manager role and tell him that he needs to obey the rules as he did before, being polite to customers and never letting him in. Doing so, he becomes part of this strange cult-like paranormal family, customers who are bizarre and a place which is paranormal and under constant threat of a dangerous entity gang. That's when the protagonist is given the keys to the store, and that way he achieves the good ending. So after all, he had to trust the boss and protect the store. On the other hand, breaking the rules and helping the corpse-looking man, we get a different ending. This corpse entity has impaled all the customers, including the owner of the place. He embraces Mark warmly and welcomes him to the family when the monster knocks him out. That's when he wakes up in the forest, having transformed into a monster.
What a piece of shit, by the way. I fucking help you win. Before you you feel me? Before you raise me to be fucking your next in kin, you know, like your sidekick. We both be evil and run shit. You turn me into a fucking monster. Fuck that guy.
Who then takes the bus and leaves. In here, he seems to have become on the side of the monsters who wanted to take the store.
I don't interpret it as you taking the bus and leaving. I interpret that as a new person coming, personally, and now you're the monster that has, and that guy probably tricked the last employee too.
And eventually, if the protagonist tries to protect the store but fails,
loop ending. Is there another ending?
Or cycle ending where we are congratulated for our actions.
No, they're referring. I think they're referring to the
burns
loop
and
one
we
as the
take
ending one.
bus back home. However, the bus goes through a portal and comes back to the store for Mark to try.
That's a good point. That tunnel. Maybe we didn't die and we really just took like a normal, or took this haunted bus and it took us here.
Again, forgetting everything and being back to the store for another 7 days before he is reviewed again until he manages to pass the trials. So it seems to me as if this place is some sort of a purgatory for the
That's what I said.
protagonist who has died. This is some sort of a bridge to the afterlife, and the store acts as a place where he is tested for his actions in the world, and after 7 days of trials, he is reviewed in a day of reckoning. There's a note that we find as well, which confirms this. Therefore, the protagonist seems to be dead, and if he acts nice and respects the rules, he passes into the good.
He's either dead or he either died or he legitimately just like stumped, like this is just posted to capture people like in the normal alive world, and that bus takes you to the other side.
Being a manager, but if he fails, he joins the demons and becomes evil. What are your thoughts about the story? Let me know down in the comments below.
Yeah, so it's pretty much what I figured. Not bad at all. I wonder what he has to say about No, I'm Not Human. It was more of a summary though than like actual breaking anything down, I will say. Is there any other videos on it? I actually kind of want to check that out too. Let's check that out too. I guess it just says story and endings explained. Yeah, story and all endings explained. Okay, fair enough. Let's check this out.
What does the
so this is not lore at all. I did watch this guy too. He does out of bound videos, like what's going on that you can't see, what the game, developers hide from you, as you can see. You can check him out if you want to. He makes really good content. This is not bad. It's pretty interesting content too. Not too in depth, but it seems that's another video. What even is the good ending of No, I'm Not Human? Oh, wait, what am I saying? You do survive. I'm retarded. There's an ending where you do survive. Facts. So I think I could check those out because those were 8 months ago. That's got to be before the Strangers update. So I don't think anything in there will be spoiled for me.
Horror game HELLSMART hide from the player behind the scenes. In this game, we begin our new job as a HELLSMART employee. A lot of retail and customer service awaits us as we endure what many would say is the true Walmart experience. But there are things occurring behind the scenes, off camera and out of bounds, that we can't see as a player. Like all these peculiar signs that are hidden within the game files. Or who exactly is hiding in the bathroom and where do they go? We'll also be breaking the game to encounter situations we normally wouldn't. So grab a shopping bag and come on in as I distribute some good old customer service. Starting up a new game, we'll see our character is looking for work, as we'll see this Help Wanted flyer for HELLSMART. A bus will arrive, which feels like a gritty version of Forrest Gump. If you know, you know. Sitting in the only available seat, which is next to this questionable person, follows with a
he's gonna show us how he teleports
away. Time to go make some money. Oh, our friend's gone. That can only mean good things, right? We'll make it to HELLSMART though, as we had the strangest interview over a payphone on the side of the building. Getting inside, there's a pager that essentially functions as a guide that we'll want to obtain. We're tasked with cleaning up the store and then head to bed, which follows with us waking for day one. At this point, we'll get some on-the-job training as we prepare to open the store. But let's not pretend that we're alone here, because we're not. Logically, we'll ignore that and begin serving the customers. There's familiar faces that we'll see who were definitely on the bus with us. My first jump scare was this bird crashing into a window as I was cleaning.
Whoa. Okay. Because I don't need another fucking summary of the game. Alright, I just played it multiple times. Last video just gave me. Ooh, I'm gonna steal this first song.
Leaving quite the pop.
Is that must be the second song? I'm gonna look at
Pasta
that.
splatter, which can also be cleaned from inside, funnily enough.
Right?
Moments later, the illegal act reaching our quotas in the encounters ended up letting us dawn back and just taking down some invisible water.
Okay, here we go.
With it being no soup night customer was sketchy, with the camera and lights flickering being a red flag. No soup for you. Dawn will arrive though, as we've completed the day, with it being time to go to bed again. Let's go back and take another look at everything we just went through though. So of course, the first thing I decided to do was to
summarize and then show. Okay.
As a player, we can walk about this area after breaking down some invisible walls.
Oh, that's
we can also find the bus standing by. Getting an overview.
Look how much. Hey, they actually modeled a lot. You never would be able to see this.
Most of the buildings back here are just floating about. As I came back down to the bus, the driver
cool that all these
caught
are
my
here.
attention. You can see that it's this bald dude who is also sitting in one of the first passenger seats of the bus. We'll be seeing more of him.
Dang, I kind of wish he wasn't sitting on the passenger seat because that'd be like a cool lore that like he's actually just a bus driver.
As you may already know, all of these passengers are going to end up being customers we serve. But funnily enough, you can actually avoid these rude passengers entirely. The player can pay the fare and sit in their seat, all while never walking into the vehicle. As you can see as I do this right here.
Fuck?
I tried letting the bus run me over at this point, which sort of happened here, but later, when I made it back to HELLSMART, I tried it again, which resulted with the bus freaking out as it impressively began breakdancing. One time I flipped over the bus, and another time the bus hit me and got sent in reverse until it eventually fell off the map. However, back at all these buildings, we can see that they're unsurprisingly empty. It's time to make our way to HELLSMART though, which is on the other side of the tunnel, as you can see from this aerial view. Waiting for the bus, you can see how we're merely a set of arms whenever we're holding an object, but will vanish completely when not holding anything. I rotated this weirdo that we sit next to in the bus to get a better look at them. This is Broke Girl, as that's the name of this model within the game. Watching the bus transport us from this perspective was interesting as we travel through this tunnel. It sort of looks like a bridge from this view as well, if you were to ask me. However, Broke Girl doing her disappearing act inside the bus can be seen normally. That is, if you're paying attention. At HELLSMART, I couldn't help but take a closer look at all these missing posters on the side of the building, as there are quite a few familiar faces up here.
Yes,
the capital F is an interesting mugshot. I immediately got to work cleaning up the place though, which led to sleepy time. I forgot to mention that there's someone staring at us when we initially go to this bedroom of ours. They'll just dip out as we enter the room. Taking a closer look, you'll see that's a familiar face, with it being that dang bus driver again. No point in trying to catch him though, as he'll vanish right after leaving our sight. This prompted me to check out the roof of the building, just to make sure there are no more surprises hiding about. We can get up here, but we're actually walking on the ceiling of the building, all while clipping through the roof itself. Of course, I didn't really find anything up here. This followed with the discovery of decorations that were disabled within the game though, so I went ahead and enabled them. There are some strange signs that we can now look at within HELLSMART.
Better than what's actually in the game.
I have no regrets. There are so many Easter eggs within this game,
are these not in the game?
I know I'm going to miss some, so please do leave a comment sharing anything I missed. There's references.
No pun intended. That's a reference to Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead, Quentin Tarantino movies.
Oh, didn't know
Friday
that.
the 13th.
Yes, sir. Dude, what the fuck? These are sick. Why are these not in the game? They're just hidden in the files. Honestly, not all of them. Sure, not all of them. But like the ones related to the actual branding should be in the game. These are nice.
And more. But let's continue on with day one, as we'll see more while playing. Starting the day, I have a talk with the boss. When this conversation ends, you'll notice that someone's watching us, as they spawn in after the phone call.
Oh, it's
This is the main antagonist, labeled as Monster Manager in the game, who is visibly terrifying. Turns out it's the same person we can catch a glimpse of out back going into that room, which is actually a bathroom. Once you get near, they
he probably used to be a manager, you think?
close himself in the bathroom and then unload. But in this instance, if we approach, they'll just walk out of our sight and then unload. Back inside, I opened up shop as the customers began spawning in. Hey, look, some Silent Hill Nachos Head, Fog and Fury chips. The customers will leave the same way they arrived, as they unload over there too. Most of these customers that we see, who are occasionally duplicates of one another, are labeled as Customer Generic, which was interesting to see while exploring the files. Doing this can make things stranger, as you can see. Thanks for shopping at Hellmart, ma'am. Back to work. So the guy that is in our store, who is
Jerking off?
having a little too much fun, is going to be a familiar face later in the game.
Oh, I just realized that's the fucking tester. What the fuck? That's insane. Maybe he wasn't really jerking off.
We can see that he'll simply disappear once out of our sight.
I see. So
For science-
lore-wise, he does run out the door.
I had to see what happens when we go outside at night. We all know the phrase, curiosity killed the cat. Yeah, in this case though, it was giant meaty arms that killed the Hellmart employee. Going outside at night is a no-no. We're back to where we left off now, so let's continue on with day 2. We start the second day with some good old snow shoveling, which follows with stock in the store. We'll do this at the beginning of each day basically. The customers can't resist these nuts. I can't believe I just said that. The boss will call, which results with new equipment and upgrades for our store, as we're able to level up essentially. I got started with new equipment and upgrades for our store, as we're able to level
What the hell? Is this coming in the update? And he just has early access because he's playing around
up
with the files? Because this is fire. I think the game needs this. This is what I was saying. Like, there should be more shit to upgrade.
I got started with the day though, which quickly led to this customer jump scaring me. Real cool guy. This followed with meeting one of the unique
I
customers
think I
who
just
was a
need to play
priest.
an actual game where you just run a grocery store. That is a game. Casel's played it. I think we're going to play that in the future for sure.
He'll ask for $10, and doing this will impact the ending in a positive manner. Customers will begin coming in more and more with these terrifying smiles. They're scary, but mostly harmless. The second night will introduce anomalies, which need to be eliminated as quickly as possible. Keeping them at bay will ensure your safety. Is this a Rick and Morty reference? Anyway,
Yeah,
we've completed day 2. Time for bed. Day 3 is more or less the same, with some new inventory to stock, along with more unique customer interactions, like Broke Girl, who we were sitting next to on the bus. She's clearly upset
get paid
and
enough
will
for this
leave
trip.
yellow puddles in the store if not addressed. There's also this guy who will steal from the store. Not on my watch. Nighttime on day 3 is when things
Oh, can you talk to him when he
who will
shops?
steal from the store.
Oh, yeah. What the hell is a duffel bag? Maybe that's when my quota went
Not on
up.
my watch. Nighttime on day 3 is when
That's it.
things get intense, as the boss implies over the phone. So buying planks is crucial, because now we're dealing with the monster, as we basically have to fend it off with the axe for the night. Keeping it at bay will result in the night ending, as we go to bed once again. Time to backtrack and take another look at all this. If we go to the back of the storage room, you'll notice that there's a
Yeah,
FNAF
pretty
reference,
fast, man.
which was cool to see. It's crazy how I didn't notice some of these references when I was initially playing,
Yeah,
but I
that's
guess I
gotta
can
be
blame it on being a busy employee. Pennywise
that's
cereal?
fire.
Anyone? Okay, so this is the point where I decide to
that together
give
either.
the store an influx of customers, as I attempted to clone this particular one. My oh my, was it a glorious result.
That's sick. That's awesome.
Business is good. Observing the surge
Business
of
is
customers
booming.
entering the store was pretty funny to watch, as they all clip through one another while grabbing their baskets. I will say though, I did set myself up for quite the task when it came to working the register. So the problem here is that once they complete a transaction with a clone customer, they don't leave. They'll just stand at the register indefinitely. Unglorious. I ended up needing to restart the day because the game was clearly not happy with my antics. I did the cloning again though, determined to make the store a handsome profit. Of course, the timing couldn't have been worse, as another unique customer showed up, who was new to me. This is Karen, and need I say no more, as the name should explain itself.
Need I
There's
say
no
more?
satisfying her.
Me when
Getting
you
distracted,
lose
this is when I
when you
noticed
check
below
the
the store what looks like a few sinkholes, being where
Oh,
the monster
shit.
hands will end up coming from. Back at the register, I realized that the clone standing here didn't exactly hinder my sales, as we were able to continue with our transactions. It was just overall awkward while doing so, as you can clearly see. However, I had duplicated so many customers that it resulted with them getting confused
shit.
when the line for the register reached the back of the
Holy
store.
shit.
They began going out and back behind the building to continue the line out there, which was pretty fun to watch. So I spent what felt like an eternity dealing with these customers. Taking
Dude,
a
it looks
closer
like a bunch of people like camping for like a new fucking product dropping, bro. They're camping for Pokemon
In
cards.
some of the anomalies, we can see this Shadow Man is the same dude who drove the bus. Looking
Oh my
more
God, he's
closely
just
at the
fucking
anomaly
everywhere, bro.
products shows how it's human
Ew, I didn't even
Lovely.
realize
meat. We
that.
got
That's
eyeballs,
sick.
fingers, teeth,
I
and
really
even what
like
appears
that.
to be scalp.
It's so hard to tell with like the black ominous stuff on it. I thought it was just spoiled meat. That's actually sick. They did a good job with that.
flesh. Oh, you guys are still here. Hi. They don't appear to be fazed by what is going on here. Completing the night and moving on to day 3, you'll see that these fools are still here. This ultimately crashed the game as I had to reset the level. Another unique customer ends up arriving after this reset, who does
Nathan?
look familiar.
Oh, drunk.
Boozer,
Drunk.
as he's called, will
Drunk
drink your
boy.
inventory away if you let him. He'll eventually leave once asking him multiple times though. He of course had to leave the store in style during my interaction with him.
That's so
It's like the
fire.
spirits of this game are taking him away.
It's fucking aura.
Feeling bad, I thought I'd give him someone to talk to when going home, so I attempted to duplicate him. It did not go as planned though, because I thought they'd all
Oh,
leave
shit.
together. As you can see, they had different plans, immediately marching back into our store. You'd think they would have cleaned
the
out the
music
drinks
kinda
within the
changed
store,
as soon as they
but
started
that's not
marching towards the
exactly what
store.
happens here. Instead, they soft-locked me when I tried to interact with them. And yeah. They just endlessly booze it up, drowning their sorrows one bottle after another. Going back to work, I had this jump scare occur, which happens really fast. I managed to freeze the game and catch the customer while they slid by quickly. As you can see, they just stare at you until you release yourself from the window. They'll just begin shopping then, as if they didn't just do something really weird. Between all the crashes and soft locks, I finally made it back to night 3. So let's focus on the monster invasion. We can get a better look at these terrifying arms that will break into our store. Following this one up and out of the building, we can see how it is in fact just an arm we're dealing with.
Yeah,
It's
figured.
basically the same deal with the rest of these entry points
be
too.
no
as
reason
there are quite a few of them that the
to,
arms can use. Monster Hand
model
is actually what's
anything
labeled as
else.
in-game, but when hitting them, you can see how they'll just disappear after retreating. But it's time for
Makes
day
sense,
4,
makes sense.
as we continue on from where we left off. New items will arrive that we can stock, including this non-human meat, which I'm stocking at the moment. But this is when the stranger shows up, as it successfully scares me. Sweeping this interaction under the rug, I continued on, with what started to become a repeated thing, as we just need to keep serving the
Hate that shit
customers.
so much.
Another unique customer arrived, who some of
It's
you
a
may
serial killer.
recognize.
Roller Coaster Bravo.
It's the hitman from the film No Country for Old Men. Regardless of how you respond to him, he'll eventually give you his quarter, stating that it's a lucky quarter now. Night 4 is also more or less the same, as we attempt to keep the weirdos out and help the others, along with fending off anomalies. Day 5 is once again similar to yesterday, as we continue the grind. We do have new products to stock though. More strange events will take place too, as you can see.
SCP,
There's
right?
other curious interactions that occur while working the shift, but nothing that resets our day, etc. Night 5 for me consisted of giving shelter to 2 more customers, including Karen. Day 6, however, is when I managed to fully
This
upgrade the
guy's
generator.
nuts. I think
as
I'm actually just a
personally felt
dumbass.
It was the best choice of them all. The jump scares started getting more frequent as well, along with more odd customers. Is everything okay, ma'am? This is when I encountered
but-
the last 2 unique customers, though. One being an old lady that has a certain level of dementia, and Tiny Bob.
Nathan. His name's Nathan.
Whatever you say, Gigantor. However, this follows with another intense night as we made it to day 7. So let's rewind and go behind the scenes for all that. When this stranger shows up as the customer asking for cigs, you'll see it's as soon as we grab them that he appears as his true form. Even this customer was impressed with the transformation. The Houdini will also vanish once out of our sight, which can be seen happening here while using the camera. However, let's talk about what happens when you let in the monster posing as a customer. A violent transformation will take place once they made their way inside, making for a bloody mess. The customers will then unload within the explosions of blood as the monster emerges from the floor. Freezing the game, we can see how it's fully under the floor. I guess
look,
this
there's
explains
the
all the
arms
creepy
it
monstrous
uses,
hands
yeah.
we've been fighting off. The monster's face is something else though. I had trouble navigating the camera here, all while trying to
He
keep
has
my character
nuts for a
safe.
chin.
But that's when I noticed a random customer laying on the storage shelves, which I hadn't
fuck?
seen before. However, this derpy-looking monster is within the store now, and what a horrific sight it is. Look at the choppers on this baby. Sadly, this didn't last long though. Between switching back and forth with the cameras, I couldn't keep my character hidden while trying to observe the freakazoid, resulting in my death. Resetting, I got another look at how a customer can be found laying on the shelves, which ended up disappearing right in front of my eyes. I tried putting myself on the roof for safety, so we could watch the monster, but it didn't work, as you can see. Then I thought, okay, I need to be inside, so I tried putting myself in our bedroom this time. Sadly though, this did not work either, resulting in another snapping of the neck. Our neck, to be precise. So with that, I decided to embrace death as I let the monster eat me this time. It's quite a horrific death sequence if you were to ask me. It'll fully inhale our body as we're able to check it all out within. Just break my neck, brother.
That's actually sick.
Sheesh. Resetting, this is when I realized that the hiding feature was limited, as this was my first time encountering all this. It'll preemptively shake right before spitting us out, as there's a time limit to hide. So with that, I decided to just play cat and mouse with it, which in the long run ended up being the right choice.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Moving on, this is when I got greedy and attempted to make bank by charging more for my services. When shoveling snow, you normally get $1 per pile, so I demanded a raise.
Nice.
We can do better though. Ah, that's more like it. Glad to be appreciated for my talents. Looks like we can max out all these upgrades now. Time to stack more.
Hit space bar didn't do it.
And you know what else is massive?
More new items too. Need I say more?
For those who come after, I never noticed that. Bro, that's actually funny. Okay, devs. Yeah, I got some funny ass references.
Speaking of the snow piles though, there is a slim chance that a jump scare will occur while shoveling. It's a face that will start
I think it's specifically one that shows up. Am I wrong?
Screaming as it sinks into the snow. Going in for a closer look does reveal that it's a floating head down here, which will continuously sink further and further down, eventually unloading. Getting back to work, when I encountered our tall friend again, I decided to knock him down a peg, just because. Which was funny to watch as he hunkered down, thinking he was still a tall boy. Anyway, if you were wondering, this guy is unsurprisingly referred to as No Face within the game. However, as you can see, Tall Man's back, and he has a jump scare loaded and ready for us. When turning around to get his SIGs, you'll see how his neck will elongate and get right up in our face. This one definitely caught me off guard when initially playing. He even got me again here. Probably because I had switched between cameras. Not much else occurs outside of what we normally see at this point, so let's continue where we left off as we start day 7 and work our way to the multiple endings for the game. So with day 7, you'll notice that the stranger is awaiting us, and that it appears to be the end of days. Oh, the boss is calling. They'll remind us that our performance will be reviewed after all this. Aside from the stranger's creepy spiel and the apocalyptic sky, day 7...
So the boss is either like someone else entirely that we haven't met, who can just see us but isn't there, or maybe he's there hidden somewhere, or it could even be the drunkard, or it could be the store itself.
Doesn't vary much from yesterday. We do have new products to stock though, including Nemo's dad. I guess he won't be finding his son after all. However, the night shift is where things get intense, as we'll be fighting off anomalies and the monster hands, along with taking out these heart-like masses that will form within the store. Upon completion though, we'll do the same thing we've been doing, which is going to bed. Touching back on a few things during this day, I did have this jump scare that occurred, which only happened once for me. You can see when pausing it here that it's the same dude that they have driving the bus, who is also the passenger on the bus, and also the...
Wait, what? Actually? What did you do, Nathan? Nathan, what did you do?
the one that was spying on us in the beginning. Coincidence? Anyways.
They're probably fine. Imagine someone else they're looking for, right?
The priest will show up at some point, as he'll ask for a whopping $666. Good lord.
What happens if you pay? Because this dude has that.
Literally. A curious amount to ask for, if you ask me. Of course,
Game
in
not let
normal
you.
circumstances, we won't
You
give
will
a
not
single
be able
cent,
to.
which results with him getting upset as he shuts our generator down. We had the funds this time around, though, so I donated to the cause. His response to this is curious, as he says, "Incredible. You managed to gather such money for me? I mean, for us?
Oh wow,
Thank
they
you.
actually
May the
coded
Lord
it in
watch over
something.
you." That's it, though. Keep the change, man.
That's impressive.
Moving on, the boozer
Because I legitimately don't think that's possible to do legitimately. Oh, yeah, you're cooked, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're fucking cooked, buddy. They're there for you. They know what you did last summer. They know what you did in 1999. GG's, little bro. He just sent me a picture of the cops being outside of his house. He is cooked. He's finished.
showed up for me again as he started puking everywhere, which was just fantastic, I guess. The final battle we have, though, didn't reveal anything new outside the fact that the monster will spawn right at the door once it's broken open by the hands. However, it's now time to take a look at all the
That's
endings
sick. That never
we
happened to
can
me in
encounter.
any of my runs.
During my initial playthrough, I ended up getting the good ending, which gives us
Nice.
the Keys to the Kingdom achievement. Somber music will play as we open the
I got
door
the
to
neutral.
a beautiful spring day. Every customer we encountered will be out front applauding us too. As you can see, I wasn't entirely trusting the situation at the moment, readily defending myself.
As
There
you
was no
should,
need
King.
for that though, because you'll see that each of the unique customers will congratulate us in their own way. As I make my way through the crowd,
All the
one
unique
by one.
customers. Let's
Turns
see.
out that the boozer was in fact an employee, at least I believe that's the case, seeing that he essentially promotes our character, giving the keys to the store to us. Knowing where
Keys to
those
the
hands
kingdom.
had recently been, I was hesitant to take the keys.
Wasn't actually
It was nice
jerking
to
off,
see
bro.
that the
He's-
broke girl got her leaking problem under control though, as she looks happy now. No mess, no clean. However, grabbing the keys will prompt a timer, as the end of our shift will occur shortly after. Glorious. Now, with this next ending, if you manage to be just nice enough, but not too nice with all the customers, you could end up with the Groundhog Day
that was
achievement.
me.
This ending is quite similar to the good ending, but
I
as
thought
you
you
can see,
nailed his
there
ass
are
to
some
the
differences.
fucking- I was like
First
almost
off,
across.
it's still a snowy day,
The
and
fucking,
secondly, the monster can be
sign.
seen hanging on the billboard, creepily. This is when I noticed that Karen had vampire-like teeth too,
She does,
which
yeah.
was also odd. However, all the dialogue is about
It's
the same,
exactly the same,
minus
yeah,
the
except for
boozers.
him, yeah.
We're not getting promoted this time, but we did manage to finish our shift, which follows with the building catching fire. It's a glorious sight, as our character
Hey.
laughs with relief, stating, "This place is finally done for." I guess this could be considered a good ending too, based on your perspective that is, but I digress. The building
True.
catching on fire is instant, as you can see here, while I turn it on and off. You can run through this fire without being harmed as well, which was funny, but I felt
fine.
like we were leaving
Literally.
empty-handed here. So I went back to the storage area and broke in, following with me stealing a box of chips for the road. Adios,
Nice.
HELLSMART. Joke's on me
Nice.
though, seeing that this was my first time experiencing this ending, as I didn't know what awaited me. Most of you know at this point that this isn't the best ending though. You'll see how we eventually unload here and reload back over on the other side of the map as we make our way back to this dang store. It all resets, essentially, appearing to be a grand opening for the store. For the third and final ending though, we must be a troublesome employee throughout
Bad
the game.
ending.
This ending is graphic. It's an apocalyptic scene and death is everywhere.
shit, I didn't even
Vlad
notice
the
the
Impaler
faces.
must shop here. It truly is a sight
Oh my god, they nailed Karen to that. I didn't even notice.
Just
Wait, maybe this is the best
to see,
ending.
to be quite honest.
I think it's the best ending.
Multiple monsters linger about in this ending as the stranger awaits us out in front of the
Still
store.
doing the stupid ass.
There was a lot to visibly take in here, as you can see, making for a
Look
truly
at him, bro.
horrific
Still
ending.
doing it.
Judgment Night is the achievement you'll receive for this ending, and I gotta say, it doesn't disappoint. Inside the store is blacked out, but when approaching the stranger, I noticed that I was able to just walk through this particular monster here, which was curious. However, the stranger will welcome us to the family, which follows with those big meaty arms appearing as they give our neck one more
That's
final
sick
snap.
that you have a whole
So I guess
fit.
all these monsters are just failed employees, which is pretty neat as we join
I
them.
like that too.
We're now the big meaty arms as we spawn back behind the store, being in this wooded area. Making our way back up to the front of the store, though, the bus will arrive as our character pleads for help. Looking within the bus, you'll see the bus driver is still playing it cool, as he'd just be chillin', with there only being one passenger aboard, that being Broke Girl. However, the game will end once we reach the bus, making for a truly
I think it's just because they didn't bother to texture anybody in there, but I'm pretty sure the person in that bus is the now new employee to take your place.
bad ending. Not associated with this ending, but I did manage to find a jump scare version of the monster as it pops up from underground. And you can see the animation playing out on screen right now. With that though, we've reached the end of our behind the scenes look at Hellmart. I hope you enjoyed this unorthodox playthrough,
Thank you.
and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers!
Alright, I'm gonna be getting out of here. What a fucking day, what a fucking stream.
That's two. 4G out of sets on a truck. 1 to the kidney, 2 to the dome. That's left, right, left, right, left, right, go. Got a rollie for the brunch and a paddock for the show. That's left, right, left, right, left, right, go. Got a big new body and a whip it like a pro. That's left, right, left, right, left, right, go. Got a great main chick and a real bad hoe. That's left, right, left, right, left, right, go.